Hi, let's export. So the first thing to do is choose what you want to export. You can select a sequence, you can select a clip, so be sure you're selecting the correct thing. We want to select this sequence. File, Export, Media, or Command M, which brings up this dialog box. Here's where you can really specify what you want to export, what codec you want it to export as, where you want it to export to, and the size of the file. Predominantly, we will use H.264. So I'm keeping it at H.264. My preset is match source and high bitrate, which is what I want. And the output name is what we want to call this file and where we want to save it to. Be sure to click on this and save it to a folder that makes sense. So here, I'm going to save this file, export demo. I will save this to an export folder. Save that. We're going to export video. We're going to export audio. As we come down here to make basic video settings, you can see that these are all grayed out. It's because we're using a match source preset. Match source means that it'll take your sequence settings and use them here for your export. So our settings in our sequence must have been 1280 by 720, 2398 for frame rate, progressive, square pixels, so on and so forth. When we get to bitrate settings, you have three choices. CBR is constant bitrate, VBR is variable bitrate, 1 pass, and variable bitrate, 2 pass. The default is VBR 1 pass. I recommend VBR 2 pass. What that means is that Premiere will look at the file 2 times. I'm going to turn the target bitrate up to 12 and the maximum bitrate up to 15. Audio, we will leave these settings as they are. Stereo, 48 kilohertz, perfect. Once this thing is set, you hit export and you'll see that it is encoding all of demo. You'll see pass 1 and then it'll go to pass 2 and then it will be finished and you'll get a little sound. Now let's cancel this for a second. Let's say you only want to export from here to here because you want to test how that title looks. With an in and out set in your sequence, you can then export that sequence. But down here, you make sure that the source range is set to sequence in to out. And in fact, you can see that in this indicator, there's your in, there's your out, and you have a total of an 8-second clip that you're about to export. And we should call it something like test. And if it all works well, then we can remove the in and out and we can export the entire clip. Testing exports will save you time in the long run because you'll get it right in the test. Won't be waiting around for the export to finish, and then when it's solid, you can export the entire thing with confidence that all is well. Save that. To pass. Let's go 12 and 15, and we will export this. Note how quickly it goes. Pass 1 of 2. It's examining the file. Now it's actually encoding the file, and now it's done. Check the file to make sure that it looks the way you think it should look. Open that up. Watch it full frame. See how it plays. All right. Be sure if you are exporting and you want the whole film to remove your in and out points. Thank you. Goodbye.